Here at CBS 8, we are giving you the opportunity to hear from some of the candidates in some of the most important local races coming up this November election. Right now here in our studio, we have Cajon Mayor Bill Wells. He is running for the 51st Congressional District. And we are giving Mr. Wells the same format that we have given his opponent. 5 questions, 1 minute to answer each question. Are you ready to go?
Ready.
All right. So your first question is, what specific policies do you support for comprehensive immigration reform to address the ongoing migrant crisis?
Well, I think the migrant crisis, the border problem, is probably the biggest issue that we face. And 75% of the people in America say the country's going in the wrong direction, and that's one of the big issues. So they want us to deal with this. And I think the first thing we have to do is have a real border policy, not just allow people to fill out an app and then walk in. If people come across, and they will, they always have, immigration has been part of our history. But if people want to come in, they need to go back to the way things were before the Biden administration, where you go to the country next door to you, you apply for asylum, you say that you have your reasons for wanting to come in, and you wait for a court hearing. That court hearing then looks at the evidence and decides whether or not you're a good fit to come into America, whether you meet the criteria, whether you're bringing anything into America, and whether or not you have any baggage that we might not want you to bring along with you, like having been a convicted criminal or have been just recently let out of a psychiatric hospital.
Okay, question number 2. What is your stance on the level of military and financial support the U.S. should provide to Ukraine in its fight against Russia?
Look, you know, I think that what Russia did is reprehensible, and I think we should definitely worry about Ukraine. But honestly, this is a problem that Europe should be really dealing with. And I think that because we've stepped up and given so much money, Europe has really taken a back seat. And it seems that Europe doesn't have a sense any longer how horrible war can be, and that war can be a real thing that could happen to them. So they're kind of standing back and waiting to see what happens, let America stand forward. I think we've got so many pressing problems at home, like what just happened with the hurricane. We don't have enough money to take care of those people. I'm not saying we cut aid to Ukraine, but I think that we do it in conjunction with what the rest of Europe's doing and let them take the lead.
Question number 3. A group of former members of Congress recently called for legislation barring lawmakers from owning or trading individual stocks. There are concerns about members from both parties using non-public information to make large profits. Critics say it's a conflict of interest. Where do you stand on this issue, and are you willing to take action?
Well, yeah, I think it's a no-brainer. Members of Congress have unusual access to information. They're obviously getting very wealthy, and you're right, it's on both sides. You know, you take people like President Biden, who makes $180,000 a year as a senator, and he walks away with multi-million-dollar homes. And that's not unusual. There's members of Congress who make much, much more. That shouldn't be the case. And yes, I think we should definitely take action, that while you're in Congress, you shouldn't be trading stocks.
And then question number 4, the sewage crisis near the border has been going on for several years. Beaches are shut down due to water contamination, and there are concerns about toxic chemicals in the air. Imperial Beach's mayor is calling on California Governor Gavin Newsom to join the state legislature and asking the White House to declare the cross-border sewage pollution crisis a national emergency. What role do you believe the federal government should play in addressing this crisis and its impact on our border communities?
Well, I really think it is a federal problem. You know, certainly it's impacting local areas, but this is a federal problem. It's a multinational problem, and it doesn't seem to me out of the realistic idea that the feds should pay to fix this problem. And, you know, frankly, I think that Mexico should also be encouraged and forced, if possible, to pay their fair share. But that, frankly, we can't wait for that to happen for this problem to get fixed. So I think our federal government has to do something about it.
And finally, question number 5, Mayor Bill Wells, why should people vote for you for the 51st Congressional District?
You know, like I said earlier, 75% of the people in America think that the country is going in the wrong direction. I've had a history of doing things in El Cajon, which I think people really like. And we need to take action. If we want things to change, we have to stop doing things the way we've been doing it. I believe that my opponent is a new crop of Democrats that are much more extreme and radical than traditional Democrats. And this is an experiment that we've tried as a country for a while. I think it's failed miserably. It's time to try something different.
All right, Mayor Bill Wells, again, the November election is coming up on Tuesday, November 5th. And we do want to remind our viewers to get out and vote. Thank you.
Thanks.